Yeah.
It's actually the way they ought to be, not the ones that are at a lower angle that allow the post to.
Right. If you look at that, what Laura's saying is if you dropped a plumb bob from the point where the strut, which is the small scantling that's propping up the purlin post, down to the tie beam, it would bisect the triangle that's made by those three timbers at that point. In other words, that angle is the complement of that angle.
Use your laser points.
But later on,
Don't like that bling, do you?
yeah, if you hung a plumb bob from right there, and it came down and it struck this beam right here, it would be right in the middle between this beam and this beam. It would bisect this triangle. Okay? So that angle is the complement of the other one. What you'll find in later canted purlin barns is either there's a mortise where that used to be, and then the strut comes way out further, or they just were put in way out further and put in parallel to the pitch of the roof. Okay? Yeah, that's real common. And the reason is that when the barns get abused and the plates start to go out on them, and the rafters want to slide off the barn, this particular design doesn't do a very good job of keeping the feet of the purlin post from popping up out of the tie beam. As long as everything's in good shape, it works great. But if it starts to go into failure, then you have a problem with it. So, again, assuming that I'm correct, assuming that the barn that we're in is at least 175 to 180 years old. Yeah. Assuming that it's still being used today, and probably has been in continuous use. I don't know if anybody can tell me that for sure, but I would bet it's been in continuous use over that period of time. So, I guess the question is, does the barn have any value? I think it has a tremendous amount of value. It tells us about the forests that grew here 175 years ago. I mean, isn't that incredible? We can look at it. You know, I heard Pam Whitney last night told me. She said, I don't think there's any virgin trees left in Ohio. Well, I was polite and I said, well, I think there actually are 3 small stands, but there's no real virgin forests left. But what I didn't say, because she already knew it and just hadn't thought of it, is that we have not lost the virgin forests. They are not gone. Here they are. Here they are. You are standing in Ohio's virgin forest right now. Is that of value to you? It's sure a value to me. It's sure a value to me.
What kind of trees?
If that came from the virgin forest, and being so massive, could have just been a function of that they had to clear the land.
Right.
And we don't do it these big logs.
Right. Although more often the use of the logs that were cleared was more often for building the cabins that were built for the early
He
shelter.
expanded his farmland or
Right.
something, that's why I
Yeah.
think.
Very few barns I've seen with log choices that far apart.
Right. Yeah. And the other thing is too, if you look at the species selection that we're dealing with here, okay, these are white oak timbers, okay? These are white oak timbers. Okay? White oak is a magnificent piece of wood. Yeah.
It's made out of white oak? You said?
White oak. Yeah. White oak timbers. Okay.
This is one log that runs the whole?
No, I just want to add a few things. Rudy, these are 3-foot on center rafters,
Okay, that one was right.
4-inch housing.
There are scarf joints up there though?
Yeah, well, no, this was, what did I say, 50 foot, or 46 feet I said, right?
Yeah.
The original length. What's interesting is that addition, that last 14-foot bay was put on right away. There's no scarf joint at the end of these purlins at the 46 mark, right down where I'm shining my flashlight. The purlins are butted together, same size, right at that point. And there are no siding nail marks on that bent to tie beam at all. So that 14-foot addition, I believe, was done right when they put this thing up.
Kind of like the Ballwood barn. Right?
Yeah, just, so yeah, it's all butted at, because there's no siding nails in that tie beam at all. And the timbers, the posts are about the same size back there too. That's a 14-foot, so it's 60 feet overall. So I think this may have been put up
Well,
originally.
you know what,
as a
Dan? There's no
60 foot.
siding girths either.
Yeah, there's no siding girth, yeah.
Yeah.
So it was originally done.
So did everybody just pick up on what Dan just saw? because my problem is that seeing from the back of my head is just not working
The
anymore.
brakes is gone,
Started getting old.
Dan. The
But-
brakes is gone on the